Keep on doing what you do, doing what you do. Just keep on doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, what you do, doing what you do.
Hi guys, it's JansCrazyLife. Ooh, so as promised, I talked about how I was going to do a video to show how I created this box. And if you didn't watch the live, I will link it below. Don't forget to join Kat's channel. That will be linked below. So far in the box from Dollar Tree, we're doing a swap on this. It is called a Patchwork Embellishment box. So far, I have cut up 5 that little pink, 5 12x12 paper pads. You could do 12 6x6, but it needs to be coordinating. So I am going to start now cutting up the last one. I will probably play some music and fast forward through that part, but that is my next step.
We are who we are. Why don't I be me and you be you? We're spreading color around us. We're lighting up the sky.
So with this piece, I'm just going to cut off the white part because you can use this as, it doesn't make a 1x1 because it's going to have this dotted line, and I will show you in a minute. But, I mean, each paper pad is different. Just make sure all your squares are 1x1s. But I will show you once I cut this off that it's not going to be, but I'm going to use this to make my thread. And if you look, though it looks the same, it's got these pivoted lines, so that'll be in part of someone's square. So, alright, so we're going to finish cutting off all of these.
We're spreading color around us. We're lighting up the sky, it's what we do. We shouldn't care about anyone or anything that brings us down. So come on now, let's be free. Just be yourself. Keep on doing what you do, doing what you do. Just keep on doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, what you do, doing what you do. Do what you like, do what you like to do, do what you like, do what you like, do what you like to do. Ain't no one stopping you. Try to express yourself in your own way, and we could have some fun. No problems coming in our way.
Alright guys, so I am now gonna stick these in here. If you notice, there was a part that got, my hand slipped, it happened, not a big deal. My little one woke up. You'll have to hear that. Alright, let me take a couple of these out. So I've noticed about 2 strips are a good size to put in the right. And so I am just going to stack these up and stick that in the right side. But I'm going to leave one out that I know is 1x1 and see if I can fix any of these that are off. This one is too small. This one is too small. This one is too small. And this one is not. This one will work. Let's just make sure we get a straight line. So those go in there. So now we have all 6 of our pages. So I talked about this little strip that wasn't 1x1, and I had already cut some from one of the other pieces of paper that got cut in here. And so now what I'm going to show you is how to, so you would want to cut these at 1 inch, if that makes sense, because that's how big the things are. We're going to use these two, so I'm going to go ahead and cut these up. But you're going to cut the strip at 1.5, because that's how big the little squares are. So 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. So there's a couple of things that you can use to make the little notches. I used my envelope punch that has that little punch at the top, but another thing you could do, because you only want to put the notches in the ones that you're putting your thread on, we require that it was at least 3 different colored threads. Let me get my hole punch. So we require that it was at least 3 different threads. You can use as many as you want. I have more, so I was adding more. So what I would recommend is take your hole punch. Let me zoom in a little bit. And then you're just going to want to kind of make a notch. There's a notch. And there's a notch. So that works perfect too. And then you're going to cut a little line here and a line here. Okay? And if you notice, that one I made already. This is with the envelope punch. And I'll show one of those as well. Give me 1 second. I'm just pulling this pink out of my sewing machine because I want to put some pink and it's already in there. So the way I'm going to start, and let me zoom in so you guys can see. I am just taking my thread, running it through that notch up there, and then I am going to roll. And you just need to, you know, use your little discrepancy of how much you feel you should send. I mean, if you're sewing, you know, enough to do a project with. Hold on. And then, so I am just rolling. Keep that. Alright. So then, now, I am going to cut it. I think that's plenty. So I'm going to run this side through, and then I'm going to cut this one off. Alright, so that's how you make your thread, and let's get a couple more. So yellow, blue, and green, orange. I think these are the ones. I'm not, so we did that color blue, but I'm going to add this one as well. So let me show you how to do it with the envelope punch. You have one. So what I did is I just eyeball this in the middle. Let me zoom out a little bit. Eyeball this in the middle. Doesn't have to be perfect. Then I'm going to try my best to line the other side up with that. Punch it out. And that gives you that kind of curvature. Let me see how many more I need. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 4 more. So they both work. It's just to your discretion how you want to make these. Okay, and now I am just, and these are the scraps from the top. I mean, if your paper pad actually made it, then you know you could just use other pieces of paper. But this is 1 inch roughly by 1.5. So now I am just gonna add the thread, and I will fast forward through this part as well so you don't have to sit here and watch me do this. Okay guys, so now I'm just gonna pick a slot to put the thread in, because the requirements are 6 of the pads. All this will be listed in the description. At least 3 different color thread, which I've done 6. And I think that we're going to, let me put this in here. So, hey Elijah, shh. So next we are going to do our washi tape samples. So there, all of our thread fits in that little slot, and they're standing up. Alright, so next let's do some washi tape samples. So since I am doing a summer theme on all these, I have these little summer theme washi tape sample. And let's start with these flamingos. And then again, I'm going to fast forward through this part so you guys don't have to sit here and watch me tedious do this.
No problems coming in our way. I would like you just the way you are, and you would like me just the way I am, and I would like you just the way you are, the way you are. Oh, keep on doing what you do, doing what.
Alright, so now we have our, and I have it over here, so now we have our embellishment. So we have our 6 or 12, 6 12 by 12s or 6 12 by 6 by 6s. We have our 3 washi tape samples, and we have our 3 different threads. So we need at least 3 different ribbon or lace. Hold on. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another one of those strips that were the leftovers, which are these, or this one, or whatever, and I'm going to cut it down again at 1.5, because we're going to now put our, so it's a good way to use up all of this paper and it all coordinates. So just cutting these at 1.5 and going to so let's use a bit of washi. And I just have this one and it's small. I am just going to cut this to start off. And I have this green, super bright green glitter, and I think this would be really cute to add to this. So I am just going to take my washi, tape this part down, and start rolling. Now we are requiring that you do at least 12 inches. I'm not counting, I'm just making sure. I mean, I'm sure I have way more than 12. And I'm just kind of going back and forth on this, so that way it doesn't take up too much space. Glitter everywhere. And then going back and forth. And then when I feel like it's enough, I will take another piece of washi and kind of cut another piece. And stick that on there. And stick this in our little box. So you have to do at least 3. I'm going to do a couple more than 3. I'm going to go ahead and put this one Ooh, that washi's not wanting to hold it. Let me put it in a different spot to get it stuck to the paper. Okay. And then I'm going to stick that in there. And then I'm going to fast forward through this part as I do the rest of them. So another thing to keep in mind is if you, so each one of these are about 1 inch, right? So if you're required to send at least 12 inches, just count like as you do one side. Like, so as you're rolling it, if you just want to count, that's 1, 2, 3. So that's each one of your inches. That's a way you could do it. Or just send whatever. But okay, so here's where we are. We have our, washi tape, our paper, our ribbon, our thing. So we have 3 other boxes that we're gonna put embellishments in. So, and then we have to decorate it, and there's another washi tape I was looking for. Decorate it and get all that. So I will be back. Alright guys, so I went and got some flowers and some different things. So I'm gonna take one of each of these flowers and put them in here. You guys can see. Alright, putting the extra ones over here. And I'm going to keep these out because I might use these to decorate some of the box. Alright, hold on. These stick together, so I have to, that one is one. This one goes here. Let's pull all these out. Make it a little faster. Alright. All of the flowers. Because there's 3 of each. Pretty flowers. And then we're going to put these in one of these little slots like that. And then I got this bling that I'm gonna add in here too, which is not gonna fit like that, so I'm gonna have to cut it up. Elijah!
I should go in the living room and play.
Alright, so guys, I am just...
I need a pee. Move.
Hold on, guys. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm just cutting off the excess and leaving these in like 4 to make them fit. I mean, I've kind of talked about the dimensions, so it's pretty much 1.5 by 1.5 and 1.5 up, so just keep that in mind when you're putting stuff because you do want it to close. So I am just cutting off the excess, and I'm going to stick these little bling pieces right here in the front. Alright, so next up we're going to, alright, there's our bling, there's our flowers. Alright, so next up I'm going to add some buttons. And where is my little bag? We'll put them in this little bag. And here's my button jar. So I kind of want to go with the summer theme. I'm going to dump these out. And I mean, I could just stick these in, but I like to kind of organize them a little bit. So there's green and yellow, and it's good to have them in your hand so you're making sure that you know what you're sending. That pink, this orange, that pink. Here's another green one. I think we're good on yellow. I need to buy some more pink. I have like a bright pink, but I don't really think that I mean, I have like lighter pinks, but I don't know if that's necessarily. This one's cute. Maybe we will use a little bit of the pastel. Here's another orange button. I think this one's really cute. And that one. Another one of those. And we have the yellow ones already. Let's see what we can pull from. This one's kind of different. And I think maybe that one. Alright, so I'm going to put these buttons in this little bag so they're not like going all over the place. And we're going to just, shh, no, I'm not done. No, I'm not. Alright, so I might not be able to. I think the bag's going to take up too much room. So let's just dump these in that little slot. Okay, so I think I want to fill that slot up. Let's add, that little blue one is cute, and this pastel yellow one is really cute. That one. Alright, so that leaves us with this slot and this slot, and let's put all this back in the button jar. Is that a purple one? Let's add that one. Yeah, because I don't think we added any purple. That's cool. Alright. Let me stick all this back in the jar. And then next up, I printed out some images off Google. What I do, and I've talked about this before a million times, is you can cut some stickers. You can put, the embellishments are really up to you. You can cut stickers, you can get some ephemera, just to make sure they're really small. I literally printed some Google images, and I am just going to cut all of that up and stick that in here and use it a little bit to decorate. So I am, let me show you what I got. So I have this, and I will be back when I'm done cutting them up. Alright guys, back. I've cut all these little bitty, how cute are they, right? So I'm just going to kind of put them together and stick them in this little spot. And I'm going to make sure they all fit, because anything that doesn't fit will get bent. And I have another thing. So that one's not, but those all fit. Hold on guys. Alright. So next we're going to I'm just cutting up these little white flowers that I got from Michael's, and I'm gonna stick them in that slot by the buttons. And they're just cute little sticker flowers that are gonna go in that slot. How cute. Alright, so then I'm going to add 2 more, but we will stick them in here with the bling. I'm going to make the bling stand up a little better. So pretty much the box was done. Not that complicated. Besides the fussy cutting, didn't take a lot of time. So now comes decorating the top. And I did this once already. I don't know. I know with art glitter glue, our glitter glue let me stick the paper down with it. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to go ahead and measure out this one because I've already done it. And then that way, I mean, you could pretty much add some trim, do some other stuff. I'm doing it kind of simple, light. So I'm just going to take a ruler and measure the paper that I already have cut. So that way, save me some time. So this page is 6. We're gonna go 1, 2, 6 3/4. We're gonna have to cut that down a little bit. 6 3/8 by 4 3/4. So 4 3/4. Alright, so let's cut down 2 pieces of paper. I've picked out this paper to be my decoration. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down. So this is want to go up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down 2 pieces of paper at, let me think this through. So we need more than one, so we're going to cut 6 3/8. But if we cut 6 3/8, because I've done this already. But if I cut 4, either way, that's not going to give me. Okay, so we're going to cut this at 6 3/8 up here because we need 2. So 1, 2, 3 is where we need to be. Is that correct? 1, 2, 3. All right, so perfect. And now we're going to cut this down at 4 3/4. And then I'm going to take this little piece of paper, because remember I told you that it kind of hung over a little bit on both sides. So I'm literally going to take this and put this in my paper trimmer, and I'm going to cut off. I'm taking it to that first line. So I'm basically cutting off like 1/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to do that for the top as well, because that'll put us right where we need to be. And then on this one, I'm going to do the same thing. So 4 3/4. And then now we're going to cut 1/8 of an, maybe even 1/16. That's not 1/4. It's 1/8. All right. And then we need to cut it here as well. All right, perfect. Those are both the exact same. So with this going in the box, my desk is getting, you could stick this in here without it being rounding the corners, or you can round them. And if you notice, I think on this one, I rounded the corners on that one, but I think on this one, I'm not going to round the corners, because I think it looks cute without it. So, first things first. And then I also want to, I had these cut aparts from the paper pad, so I love this green. Dream Chaser is really cute, but that is the black. So I love this green. And then let me see what other one we have over here. We also have Love You Fabulous. I like the Fabulous. Enjoy All the Good Stuff. That one's cute too with the orange. But with the pink, I don't know. I think we're going to go with Fabulous and maybe this. I don't know. Let's cut them up and see. And I'm not going to put this in my paper trimmer. I probably could, but I am just going to take my scissors and do it manually. Hopefully the mic. Yeah, I have the mic on. I was like, oh gosh. Alright, so that is cut, and I'm just going to barely take a little bit off the top where it's that other paper. So look how pretty that green is. I think we're going to put that on. I think this one might be our outside. Fabulous. Alright, let me straighten this line. And then I'm just cutting the top a little bitty bit. And the Fabulous is cute, but I think it has too much going on. It's too much. Alright, so let's try the orange. The orange is cute too. Because I think because that paper has so much going on, we kind of need to stick with a solid color kind of combo. All right, so let's move all this. Look how cute the orange is, and I think the orange will be really cute in here. All right, so that means we're going to use the green on the outside. I like the green with the pink too. I don't know, we'll figure it out. All right, first and foremost, let's glue the pieces on. So I'm just taking the art glitter glue, and one thing I will tell you that I've learned about this is you just kind of press it a little minute. If you are using art glitter glue or any glue that you're using, just give it a second to kind of get tacky and glue it to your actual surface. And I am just sticking this in here, and see how it's kind of lifting up a little bit? That's not a problem. We're just kind of letting the glue dry a little bit down to get a little tacky. And then as soon as it gets a little tacky, and if you notice it's still popping up a little bit, you just keep rubbing it, because it'll start to dry and get a little tacky, and when it does, it will stay. So that's what we're doing. At least that's what I'm doing. So I'm just making sure to push it all down in the squares with the glue. And actually I could have, hello Jan, remember we talked about this. Let me take this lid off. All right. Just giving it time to tack on down. Don't want to lift anything at this point because it will lift completely up. And if you see the glue back here, you can see where it's still wet. We're still smearing it in its place. It probably could have used a little more, but it is good and working. All right, so there is the inside. Now remember, when you open it like this, so that makes sure your paper, but when you look at the box, this one needs to go this way. So now I'm going to do the same thing, just I'm making sure I have plenty of glue on my edges. Making sure I don't miss any of them. And then, let's see this side over here, and then I'm going to make sure plenty of glue in the middle. And then I'm going to stick this down to its area. And then I'm going to do that same thing where I'm just pushing it, coming back, pushing it, waiting for the glue to kind of dry enough to get tacky. This is art glitter glue, so I don't have to worry too much about the glue coming out or seeping because it will dry clear. If you have glue that doesn't dry clear, you want to clean that up before it dries. I'm sure some people will do hot glue or whatever. I didn't want to melt it or anything of that. Plus, I'm not a big fan of the hot glue. Alright, so there we go. So, the question is, should we do orange or green? Well, I have this that I want to go on here. So, I think we're going to go green on the outside. And put it like this where it says hello summer. I can do anything. I think that's super cute, right? And then kind of catty corner. So I think that's what we're gonna do. And I have another little idea. All right, so I'm gluing this to the corner over here to the paper, and then I'm going to glue this hello summer on. To this side. I'm just kind of making sure it's flat. And then we have some other like decoration, but we can send those because I thought, but I wanted to maybe put this flower here, maybe this red one, and we'll put some bling in the middle. These flowers are cute, right? And then this blue one, just some flowers around it. Let's go with the orange one as well. And then that's what I think we're gonna do. I think we're gonna keep it just like that. Look how cute this would be too, right? The lemonade. Like, who doesn't think lemonade in the summer? But the flamingo instead of the lemonade. No. Okay, don't worry about the lemonade. Let's start gluing down the flowers. We're going to get bling and stick the bling inside of them. Alright. So I'm just putting them where I want them to go. Let that dry. Go back down. Okay, so there are the flowers. Now let's flip this over while that dries, and we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do in here. Now I love that this is orange and it has this little orange drink, and then maybe lemonade on this one, and because all of this we can put in an envelope and they can use it. So I think we're gonna keep it pretty simple like this. So we're gonna put the orange drink and the lemonade in here, and then put this, we're going to center this one, eyeball it, and then I'm going to take this one and glue it down here. And then the lemonade. And then you could always bling out the little things or whatever too. So that is pretty much our top and bottom, except that we gotta put some bling. So the other part of the requirement element is that we're requiring you to send like a little note or something with them. Like, look how cute this is, and you could just stick it in here and put a note, but we also want somewhere. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hole punch and I'm going to kind of punch out the part that's white but has a little bit of, maybe we should punch out the flower, right? And I'm punching this out because I'm going to put, this would be cute to just kind of, I'm going to put that there, but that's your scraps. But I need more of a white piece. Hold on. Let me get this one. Watch out. And then I'm going to put handmade. If you guys can see, I'm writing by, and then I'm just going to write JansCrazyLife. Because we just want you to put somewhere in the box that you actually created it. And then I'm going to stick this. Let me see. Yeah, we're going to put it because I want it to go here. So I'm going to stick that in there. And then there has to be some kind of note or an envelope or something where you're letting in. But I'm going to make an envelope because I want to fit this stuff in here. And I kind of want to use this paper. But I know that it's cut down at, let me see. It's cut down at, it would be 5.5. So we're going to have a square envelope, which is okay. So I'm going to cut this down at 5.5 to make an envelope out of it. Actually, what was it at? It was 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. So 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. So with it being, I'm just going to take my envelope punch and make a little envelope really quickly. This is the mini envelope punch board. I got it off of Amazon. Alright. Elijah, you have to turn that down or put your headphones on. Elijah. Hold on, guys. Alright, I had to get him out of there with that music because you know they will flag your video over kid stuff. Alright, so all I'm doing is making this little envelope and with the envelope I am just going to, and if you notice it didn't have the punch, I just kind of like figured out I didn't want to cut the paper down anymore. But here is my envelope where I'm going to put, this won't fit, so we're going to have to, well maybe it will. It'll be a snug, but it'll fit. Alright, so next I am going to, Elijah, your daddy's calling you. Go see what daddy wants. Alright. So, now is my envelope. I'm going to put all these leftover pieces so the person can use it however they want, but they don't fit in the squares. And put that in there. And then here is this little card, journaling card, that I'm probably going to write a note on or put another thing in here. And there is your little envelope note that would go right on here as it cuts up. Oh, we're going to get the bling. Okay, so that's the only thing that I didn't do. And I kind of wanted to add more pink or something, so hold on. Let me see what bling I have over here. Black. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. Alright, I'm back. I went and got flatback pearls because I think that is going to be the cutest in the little flowers. What is causing... Making sure everything fits. Alright. So now we will do... that one. This one. Oh, it's sticking in my hand. There we go. Our glitter glue dries fast, so that's why I'm only doing a couple at a time. Alright. So, then there is that one. This one. And the last one. And that'll dry clear. So that is my finished patchwork box kit. I hope that this was helpful to anyone that had any questions on how to make it. If you guys have any more questions, comment. Don't forget to go to Kat's video. It will be linked below and join. I am sending 2. You can send 1 or 2. And there are the 2. Do any theme, any color. So cute. So, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already, because the best is yet to come. Bye, guys.